Continuing from our previous discussion, let's dive deeper into the themes, concepts, and unique features of the Quran as presented in the source, as well as its relevance to the world. The Quran's numerical framework. Sources highlight the Quran's complex numerical structure, suggesting that numbers are not merely for counting, but carry deeper symbolic meanings. Digital roots are a way to analyze numerical patterns within the Quran. The number 7 is repeatedly significant, appearing in the 7 heavens, the 7 verses of Surah Al-Fatiha, and in recurring economic cycles. The digital root of 7 symbolizes resilience and recurring advancements in technology and economics. The number 18 is significant as the number of letters in the first verse of Surah Al-Alaq, and the word number guide us to a straight path in the Quran. The number 63, representing the age of Prophet Muhammad, is also significant. The number 12 is significant as the number of Surah Yusuf and as a reference to paradise in a verse. The number 250 is associated with the cycles of the rise and fall of empires. The number 77 is the sum of the alphabetical order of the letters in the phrase, "He created him." The number 35 points to verse 35 of Surah Yunus, the Quran's invitation for reflection and observation. The Quran encourages the observation of nature, reflection, and learning from past civilizations. It urges people to travel and learn from the experiences of previous generations. Natural phenomena like the changing seasons are used to understand life's cycles. Questions are used as invitations to think and reflect. The first word revealed to Prophet Muhammad, read, emphasizes the importance of understanding the universe. Prophetic narratives and divine guidance. The Quran includes stories of prophets as examples of divine guidance. Prophet Yusuf, Joseph, was given the ability to interpret dreams and prepare for economic hardship. Prophet Musa, Moses, received divine guidance and was spoken to by God. Prophets are presented as role models for living a life aligned with God's will. Prophets receive knowledge from God but are not knowers of the unseen, except what God reveals to them. Knowledge of the unseen is exclusively with God. Prophet Muhammad, is the final prophet. The concept of fadlun, the term fadlun meaning abundance or exceeding, represents something extraordinary and beyond normal human comprehension. It is an invitation to strive for remarkable achievements. The Quran's unique structure and inimitability. The Quran's structure is divinely ordained, with its unique characteristics beyond human comprehension. The arrangement of chapters, verses, words, and surahs is purposeful. The Quran is presented as a book whose wonders never cease. The Quran has a unique style and structure, and its verses and chapters are interconnected, creating layers of meaning. The Quran's preservation is also seen as a miracle. Relevance in the digital age. The Quran's numerical structure and patterns are seen as signs of its divine origin, which have become relevant in the digital age where numbers are highly significant. It is seen as a book relevant to the digital age, where the language of numbers is more potent than words. Ethical and moral principles. The Quran provides spiritual and moral teachings to guide individuals to live better lives. It emphasizes principles like justice, truth, and balance. The Quran's teachings encompass areas of life including social justice, family law, and ethics of conduct. Cyclical patterns. Sources highlight cyclical patterns in history and nature. The cyclical nature of events is emphasized with the 250-year cycle, with the digital root of 7 significant in the rise and fall of empires and in economic cycles. The Quran uses cycles in nature, like seasons, to illustrate life's patterns. These points highlight the multifaceted nature of the Quran as a source of spiritual and moral guidance. A book with a unique numerical structure, a guide for human life and reflection, and a text that remains relevant in the modern world. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, is a complex and meaningful text that has been studied for centuries. Every verse, every word, even every letter holds incredible depth. Scholars have spent their lives trying to understand the messages within it. Besides the beauty of its language, the Quran also has a fascinating numerical framework. These numbers don't just appear randomly, they have an amazing pattern and structure. This framework, often called the numerical tapestry, adds a deeper layer of meaning to its message. Each number, each pattern, has a purpose and a deep meaning. This numerical structure is not a coincidence. It points to a deeper meaning embedded within the text. Researchers have found that these numbers often relate to specific themes in the Quran. The Quran itself encourages us to think about the importance of numbers, stating, "Indeed, we have created everything according to a measure." Quran 54:49. This verse reminds us that everything in the universe has an exact measure and proportion. These number patterns are not just a mathematical quirk, they are part of a larger divine message. Instead, it acts as a guide, leading the reader to reflect on the wisdom and knowledge embedded within the verses of the Quran. By understanding these patterns, we can better appreciate the beauty and depth of the message conveyed by the Quran. Certain numbers pop up again and again throughout the Quran. They give us clues to deeper hidden meanings. These numbers have symbolic meanings and add to the richness of its message. Each number mentioned has its own unique context and relevance. For example, the number 7 is often linked to completeness and balance in many traditions. The Quran mentions 7 heavens and 7 earths, reflecting the vastness of creation and God's majesty.
The number 18 is tied to important events in Islamic history, like the revelation of the Quran over 18 years. This marks a significant period of revelation. Other numbers, like 63, which represents the lifespan of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and 12, signifying the 12 tribes of Israel, also hold special meanings and historical relevance.
These numbers, along with others like 250, 77, and 35, are not just coincidences. Each number has its own story and message. They invite us to think deeply and contemplate, to understand the context and meaning behind each one. It encourages readers to unlock the wisdom hidden within the verses of the Quran. By understanding these numbers, we can better appreciate the beauty and depth of the divine message. Grasping the symbolism of these numbers deepens our appreciation for the Quran's divine origin and profound message. It's an invitation to keep learning and reflecting. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes the importance of reflection and observation. It invites us to pause from our daily routines and ponder the meaning of life. It encourages us to contemplate nature, to see the beauty and wonder that surround us. Every element of nature has its own story and lesson to tell. It urges us to recognize the signs of God's existence and power in the creation around us. From the stars in the night sky to the intricate patterns of leaves, everything is a testament to His greatness. From the intricate design of a leaf to the vastness of the universe, every creation is a sign of God's wisdom and power. We are invited to reflect upon and appreciate these wonders. The Quran invites us to contemplate the wonders of creation as proof of the Creator. By reflecting on nature, we can sense God's presence and greatness in every aspect of life.
History is also a valuable source of knowledge and guidance. Through history, we can understand the human journey and the events that have shaped our world today. The Quran narrates the stories of past nations and prophets, giving us insights into their lives and the lessons we can learn. It highlights the consequences of their actions. These stories remind us of the significance of our own actions and decisions. These historical accounts offer valuable lessons for humanity, helping us understand the mistakes and successes of the past. It urges us to learn from the past and strive towards righteousness. By understanding history, we can make wiser decisions for the future. By reflecting on the experiences of those before us, we gain wisdom and perspective to face the challenges of our own time. History is a mirror that helps us see ourselves more clearly.
The Quran is full of stories about prophets who face trials and challenges but remain strong in their faith. These stories offer invaluable lessons in resilience, patience, and trust in God's plan.
The story of Prophet Joseph, for example, teaches us about forgiveness, resilience, and the ultimate triumph of truth over falsehood. Similarly, the story of Prophet Moses highlights the importance of standing up against injustice, even in the face of great opposition.
These stories are not just historical accounts, they are a source of guidance and inspiration for all humankind. They remind us that God tests those He loves and that with every hardship comes ease. The Quran introduces the concept of fadl, which means divine grace or extraordinary favor.
Fadl represents God's boundless generosity and His ability to grant individuals extraordinary abilities and achievements.
The Quran emphasizes that fadl is not earned but bestowed by God's mercy and wisdom.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a prime example of fadl, as he was chosen to deliver the Quran and guide humanity towards enlightenment.
The concept of fadl serves as a reminder that human potential is not limited to our own efforts.
When we align ourselves with God's will and strive for righteousness, we open ourselves to the possibility of achieving extraordinary things through His divine grace.
The Quran stands as a masterpiece of language. Its structure and preservation are proof of its divine origin. Unlike other religious texts, the Quran was revealed and completely memorized during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. Its unique rhythm and eloquent language have captivated hearts and minds for centuries.
The preservation of the Quran for over 1400 years, with its original message intact, is a wonder in itself. Despite attempts throughout history to change or destroy it, the Quran remains unchanged. It's proof of God's promise to preserve His final revelation. The timeless message of the Quran continues to resonate with people from all walks of life, offering guidance, peace, and spiritual nourishment.
In the digital age, where information is readily available and accessible, the relevance of the Quran remains undiminished. The numerical patterns in the Quran, once deciphered through meticulous study, have gained new meaning in the context of modern technology. Advanced computer analysis has revealed complex mathematical codes and patterns within the structure of the Quran, further strengthening its claim of divine authorship.
These discoveries highlight the timeless nature of the Quran, proving that its message transcends time and place. Even in our technologically advanced world, the wisdom of the Quran continues to guide us, offering solutions to contemporary challenges and reminding us of our life's purpose.
The Quran stresses the importance of justice and balance in every part of life. It calls for fairness and equality in our dealings with each other, fighting for the rights of those who are oppressed and vulnerable. The Quran condemns all forms of oppression, urging believers to stand up against injustice and strive for a just and compassionate society.
It emphasizes the importance of balance in our personal lives, encouraging moderation in our actions and thoughts. The Quran promotes a holistic approach to well-being, recognizing the connection between our physical, emotional, and spiritual health. By adhering to the ethical and moral principles of the Quran, we contribute to a more just and harmonious world.
The Quran highlights the cyclical nature of life, drawing parallels between historical events and natural phenomena. It reminds us that civilizations, like seasons, rise and fall, and that there's a time for everything under the sky. The Quran emphasizes the importance of learning from the mistakes of past generations, recognizing that history often repeats itself.
By understanding these cyclical patterns, we gain a broader perspective on our place in the grand scheme of things. The Quran encourages us to reflect on the temporary nature of this world and strive for a legacy that extends beyond our worldly existence.